Right now we're moving on to section 7 of my music collection, which is going to be the last row of my CDs. And then the last videos, well actually the last part of my video will be of my music videos. I think I will take time to share about those. A split second, now that's like late, like in the 80s, we were following Wax Trax music. The Stranglers, now this is stuff my dad was listening to back in the 70s. And I remember these guys, very unique sounding. They're kind of part of punk music. I don't know if you call that post-punk, but I think every jiu-jitsu school needs to learn about the Stranglers and add it to their playlist. Tackhead, I think, like I don't know if they were on Wax Trax, but it just seemed to be around that era. Look at that, $2. What a deal. Tangerine Dream, now this is the stuff I like, man. That's like my dad's trance techno. So, look at that. See right there, that just tells you right there in the picture, that's head music. That's music for your head. This is dope. So again, early 80s. I remember that a lot too. When I was a little kid, that was one of my favorite things, man. My dad would stay up late on the weekends and smoke pot, and we'd listen to something like this. Boy, I wanted to stay awake as long as I could. I'd be falling asleep on the living room floor because I was trying to stay up, kind of like how you try to stay up for a good movie. It's like that. So I was trying to stay up for this music, And if my dad caught me sleeping, he might tell me to go to bed. So I tried not to get caught falling asleep, just like we're watching those movies. And of course, so I've always appreciated the smell of pot and music at the same time. So I don't know if that's a good thing. Now I have to have them together. But whatever. At least I'm not an alcoholic or whatever. So anyways, TGT, that was part of Throbbing Gristle. I think that's everyone but the singer. Everyone but Genesis P-Orridge in that band. So these guys are more like, I don't know how to call them. They're like, kind of like a punk band, but I don't know how to call them. This guy's very deep and intelligent, though. I mean, very interesting. Trying to figure out what I've got here. My goodness, this is Throbbing Gristle. So that's something they did much later. Tin Machine, this is David Bowie's side project. I think I had a cassette of that. And then this is Satoshi Tomi. Now that's New Breed. That's back to the trance techno. It's a little bit to the clubby side, but some of the tracks on there are pretty deep, like, these are the beats to free your mind. It's like, I love it, Ultravox. Now, I should have more than that, but these guys were a great band. I remember them, more like after we moved to Key West. So, my time frame, I remember around 81, I was about 6 years old, and for those first few years, my dad was listening to the shit out of Ultravox, and I used to go outside and jump on the trampoline, and I used to love this. So I had all my favorites, and these were one of them, New Order. I remember Velvet Underground ever since, as long as I can remember. So this is Lou Reed. Early, this is a different part of punk that my dad followed. So Armin van Buuren. Now this is much later, after I moved to Montana. A friend of mine told me about this. So when I was in Colorado, I picked this up, and this is really a great album. This is like one of the best albums, probably the best thing I've heard by him, and just one of the best albums like this anywhere. It's more like, more to the pop side, more like has vocals on it, but it's very good material. So I tried to get more of it, and it's like, this has some good stuff on it, but these are a little more commercial sounding, so I don't really like these as much as that first one I got. That first one has a track on it that I heard in the Visionary State. So in 1983, I went to Visionary State, and I was exposed to this track, and I couldn't help thinking it actually reminded me of stuff like New Order and Ultravox. It sounded, I don't know, just more enhanced, more refined. The Who, I mean, gotta have The Who. I think I remember this band because, like, I like good rock and roll. My dad's more like a rock and roll at heart and went on to electronic, so I kind of come in more as an electronic person. But I like good rock and roll, and this band actually had a good synthesizer in it. So I've always loved music with good synthesizer in it, including The Who. So a good, powerful rock and roll band, important part of music history. Wire, also, they're a different aspect of music history. They're like, I guess you could call it post-punk, but they have a very psychedelicness to them. They're very unique in quality. There's nothing like this band. They can be very hard and brash, like, they'll just run you over, Zotox, something I didn't listen to a whole lot. That's more like just trying to find different stuff, at the record store. Vendetta Records, that's the guy, David from Vendetta Records. So I'd go in there, made friends with David, and he's trying to help promote industrial music, but I think there's a lot of people that just really, they're into the sound and the style, but what they don't understand is the spirit behind the music. So that's something Chris and Cozy Fanatuti said. A lot of people get the form, but they don't get the spirit. Now this is a Zymex. I used to listen to that a lot when I was in high school. Now these are some of my compilations, like the Artificial Intelligence. I think I had the same thing on cassette, actually. That's where Wax Trax was trying to promote like the intelligent electronic stuff. So I'll share some of these comps, see if I remember any of these. See what we've got. Oh, that's Cryogenic Studio, so that's Bill Lieb stuff. I think I had it upside down because of the way it's printed, so that's like a bunch of there's like a few tracks on there that you may not find anywhere else. So if you listen to Bill Lieb, you got to have that. This is another, but I can't remember what's on Electroskeleton. Now this is 50 Years of Sunshine, an album made to celebrate the discovery of LSD. So that came out in 1993. See how it's got that on there? That's how the universe is being expansion. So that's how the universe is being built. See, so somebody on LSD had that all figured out. Man, I got a lot of these things upside down. Instinct, wonder why they're upside down. If it's the way they're printed. Instinct Records, I think Richard Kirk was on that label, so there's some really good tracks on that. Okay. Not a great compilation, it's okay. Some of the stuff, I'm really not sure what's in here. Like, this has got a couple good tracks on it. Tribal Underground, it's kind of clubby techno. This is good stuff. This has industrial music on it. This has like some experimental electronic. And then here we have a nice CD set of Chrome, Cabaret Voltaire. Boom! Let's see. Aha, so this is Cryogenic Studio, so probably a bunch of different stuff Bill Lieb has done. Maybe some rare things you'll never find anywhere else. Richard Kirk, I really didn't enjoy this. This reminds me of so I have a small synthesizer and I go through it and I kind of mess with all the knobs and stuff. It kind of reminds me of that. It's like, that's what I thought of some of the tracks. It just makes me think of finding a sound on my synthesizer and just kind of messing with that sound. Sarah McLachlan. Let's see, New Ancient Astronauts. I think we saw these guys in Denver. They lived there. They brought us to their house and gave us a free record. This is somebody, page 27. You guys were a noise band, so my friend John and now Alicia. Let's see, Warhite 22. Look at that. He made his own cover out of newspaper. Just for fun. That must be some Tibetan music, and then some Indian music. Anyways, that would be fun to share everything, including some of my odds and ends. I don't even know what I have in my CD collection. So anyways, this is part 7 ending. I'm going to do one more section for part 8, and I'll share my music video collection. I'll see you then.